My position on fees at the moment is because I'm Arts and Human Sciences Programme Officer. I'm mandated to fight for free fees.
My position on fees is just as Michal said there. I would be more inclined to go towards free fees, as I believe that we have to carry on with what USI are doing because we have the most power as a group. I think my number one priority would be, I'd say, to get the sponsorship for welfare, because in turn that is going to help everything else in my manifesto, and it's going to help everything else in welfare as such.
Yeah, my number one priority would definitely be mental health, because it is the biggest killer of people our age between 15 and 25, and hope to be addressing it through my different policies there in my manifesto. My biggest achievement in the last 3 years is definitely founding the social science ball, because it really created a sense of community in my own faculty, and as well this year we raised €1,470 for the emergency welfare fund of St Vincent and Paul.
I think my biggest achievement was actually outside of UCD. When I was a community development officer for Tesco in Claremorris, we raised €26,000 in 12 hours in Turn Claremorris Pink for breast cancer, which was just phenomenal. We didn't even expect it ourselves. Michal, the first question I'd like to pose to you is just in relation to your manifesto there. Towards mature students, you have an admirable idea that you create a booklet for mature students. I'm just wondering now, where are you going to get funding for the booklet, and what is going to have to take a backseat within welfare? What are you going to have to take away to make money available for the booklet?
Yeah, well, and I'm very glad you asked this question, because the way I envision doing it is, with the best way of costing, is I plan originally doing it in an A4 PDF that's going to be published online. And then as well, I'm going to be printing off the union's own printers. And I'm also going to be seeking sponsorship from various companies that might want to have their logo on this booklet, and so that's the way I envisioned that I would do.
How are you going to get sponsorship?
I just approach different companies the same way that.
Do you know how the system works?
The current welfare officer, there is currently a sponsorship system that.
Cool. How much sponsorship I know you're involved in welfare this year? So how much sponsorship did welfare get with the current system?
They got sponsorship for various different posters. That you might have seen the fight like a girl posters, and also the
for cervical cancer.
Yeah,
I understand. I know that's it's nationwide, but you're saying that you want for the mature students. So, and you're saying you're going to get sponsorship. As you know, in my manifesto, I have that I want to get sponsorship. I know exactly how the system works, but I'm just wondering, do you know how you're going to go and get sponsorship? That's kind of what I don't I kind of want just a straight answer. Do you know exactly how you're going to go and how the system works?
Yeah, I'm just going to be using the current system. There is currently a welfare sponsorship system where different companies can actually sign up, and where there's different packages. Like you might want to get €500 sponsorship to the welfare fund, €1,000 sponsorship. Not actually to the welfare fund, but also the publications. So I'm going to be keeping along the current system.
The current system hasn't worked, Michal. You want to use the current system. Yeah, it didn't. The real sponsorship for welfare hasn't gotten 5 years. So why would we stick to a current system? I use my experience as a community development officer. I've sat in these committees. Groups have come towards me. They've sat on the opposite side of the table, and I know exactly what these companies are looking for. I've approached these companies, and they're very interested. I'm going to sell welfare for what it is.
Which companies in particular?
Okay, I've gone to Super Value and Tesco Ireland. Obviously, I'm not going to go to one specific company because I want to get the best possible.
And they've offered to pay for your posters?
Of course they can't.
Of
course they can't. I'm not a welfare officer, Michal. And as well, you know, I can't get anything in writing until I am welfare officer. But they're very interested, and I can get that in writing. Like you're saying that you're going to get sponsorship, and I said I'm going to get sponsorship.
And these are very what the original question focused on the mature student booklet, which is really what it's going to be like past testimony from other mature students, like what really made their settling into UCD so successful for them. Now it's quite that there booklet, and you're probably also hinting on the international students, the accommodation guides that whenever they land.
I feel that there's already a lot of material that is given to students.
But I feel that these are two. I went out whenever I was talking to students looking for my nomination for welfare officer. I really felt that these are two solid issues, because international students were stuck whenever they came here. They didn't know where there was accommodation. So as I was saying, like, I'm going to be using A4 PDFs online, so there's an online version to save costs, but I'm also going to be printing it off the Union printer, similar to the way we in the welfare crew printed the residential guide this year.
Do you not think, when you're doing that it would not just be smarter to put it into the current student diary? Because give them a section this way, number one, it's being printed anyway, so your costs are minimal. You're literally talking about, you put your section into the current student diary, your costs are minimal, and the graphic design all falls under one umbrella. Because when the graphic design is done for the current student diary, it's done in a lump. You can put in your sections that you need, because the graphic designer is there to do the diary, not just each individual section.
Yeah.
So
but I also feel it like I don't know if you know this, but like in previous years, there's only been a few thousand copies of the student diary printed. But I really want to see like a separate like mature student handbook for all the mature students who are coming in, and as well like whenever I talk about the accommodation guide, like I think orientation week is a little bit late. If you're coming from another country to come to Ireland, it's a little bit late for that to be your accommodation guide to be in the student diary. Like, oh, I'm here 1 week before you city, and now it's time to start looking for.
You want a mature students booklet, which you're
correct.
going to print of the unions.
The A2 printers.
A2 printers.
Or sorry, the
A2s. It's going to be really late.
The A4 printers.
Alright, so the A4 printers. How many pages is going to be on it?
In the booklets?
Yeah.
Well, the way I envision it would be like 15 to 20 pages, so
20
pulled
pages.
across.
Alright, and you're going to do all this work off the one printer that we have down there, and it's all.
We have several printers in the union.
Yeah, no, but the one printer. You said they one of the SU just there.
Yeah, and we also have 2 in the storeroom.
Do you not think that's just absolute? How much time is that going to take you?
Well, it's going to be during the summertime immediately.
But
during crossover training.
Yeah, but like realistically, we have to. It's our duty once we get elected to not only until the summer. We have to start working the day we get, like Saturday. We have to start working straight away. Like if we did put it into the student diary, which would be my idea. It's all that would just 1 second would straight away alleviate costs, alleviate time, and I think would just be better because it'd be in colour. It'd be.
My question for you is that two of your policies in your manifesto are imminently being brought in the next few weeks by our current welfare officer. Now the two policies in question is both the weekly bus service to a major retail outlet is being brought in, and also the welfare dinner idea that's based on the UCC module that's due to come in within the next few weeks. So this is 2 of your solid priorities being brought in before you're even in office. Do you plan on taking credit for the current welfare officers?
Well,
were you aware that this was about to come in?
I was aware that the bus service was tried, but I believe I was in talk with the manager in Dundrum, and he isn't aware.
Yeah, but there's several other major retail outlets like.
Hey man, which one is this that the bus will be going to?
I don't like this.
You don't know.
This welfare officer. But in executive meetings she has been saying that these.
I know.
Michal,
of course, you see, every point in my manifesto I've looked into deeply, and I've been talking to the previous welfare officer, and yes, she's been in contact with companies, but it hasn't happened. Okay. Yeah. Now, as of now, it hasn't happened. And it hasn't been said. If you ask students on res at the moment, have they been told about this bus that's going to come in? Like at the moment now we're in week 7, is it? We're in week 7. Right, there's 5 weeks left. So, and you're saying these are imminently going to be brought in. Imminently to me is tomorrow. Okay? At this stage in a semester, imminently is tomorrow. So, and I really don't think that's a valid point because it's not.
Okay, no, this is going to be brought into the SU. Yeah. The shops very shortly.
I understand what you're saying, and do you know how the system works?
Yeah, I do. I understand that fully.
Yeah.
You pay your €10 in the shops, and then you get your.
You get your card. Yeah. No, you get your card. First of all.
Yeah.
The card costs €1. With that card, you pay on the card. Then you put it on. You pay your €10.
Yeah. But basically, what I'm saying is
it's not. It hasn't. I've been asked this question before. The system is to be coming in by the end of the semester. And previously I didn't know about this until it was brought up to me the last 2 days. Because I personally thought it was a great idea, and you don't hear about these things unless you're sitting on exec, and I understand that. Look, I respect it 100%. Until it comes in, or until these priorities comes in, it's 100% my priority, and it's in my manifesto because I want to get it in. What happens if it's not in? If it's not in by the end of the semester?
I can tell you, I can tell you now.
can tell.
It's definitely coming in.
It's definitely coming in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in by the end of the semester.
Yeah, as to my understanding. Yeah.
As to your understanding. Yeah. Well, Michal, it's not in. Like.
Okay, let's talk about your. Then this is like these questions these are solely focusing in on your resident section. Now, these are two these are probably your two strongest these are two of your strongest policies that might be in the next few weeks. What are you going to do then? What's going to be your focus around res if two things come in before you're in office?
My focus on res would be my welcoming drive towards res. To get out there. The one that you said wasn't possible, I know you did a bit of number crunching as per se, but you said that it wasn't feasible, that it was going to take 30 weeks to get around. Michal, how many houses have you hit in res in the last few days?
Oh no, that's confidential. And
it is. Okay, yeah. Well, that makes me think it's a large number. So if it's going to take you a week to hit most houses in res during your campaign, why does it have to take 30 weeks when we're working?
And just talking on that point, the point that Dennis alluding to is previously in our hustings on Thursday in the Students' Union. Yes, the bit of number crunching I did. If you want to come and visit 3,000 students.
It's been done before by a previous welfare officer.
By a previous welfare officer. I've talked to several other people who worked on his team, and they're saying that he hadn't actually hit every single house that res now.
Hey, well, I've talked to people. I've talked to people who
actively well, I don't know, who just said that this wasn't true, that it hadn't been done.
Well, previous welfare officer was Conor Fingleton, by the way.
Now, we can all name drop previous welfare officers, but anyway.
I don't know from Joel.
Talking about the number crunching that I did in the SU Centre hustings is that if you take 3,000 students that you want to individually spend 20 minutes with, you're talking about 60,000 minutes. When you break 60,000 minutes into hours and then break the hours into working weeks, you're talking about, if you take 39 hours as the average working week. Now this is taken aside from personal, not even dealing with personal cases or people who are coming in with financial issues. Then you're talking about spending 39 hours alone for 30 solid weeks to come into every single person on res. Now I understand that
they don't live in individual houses, you know.
No, I know.
Like you just said, 3,000 students. I don't have to knock on them and go, actually, you're there, I'm going to come back later because I don't want to talk to two of you at the same time. That's just ludicrous, like.
That's exactly what you said in your manifesto. So you're saying that what is in your manifesto is ludicrous?
No, I'm saying you're turning my words there absolutely mentally, alright? You're saying that there's 3,000 students and you want to spend 20 minutes with each, okay? No,
this is what you're saying in your manifesto.
I said that I'm going to go to every house on res and I'm with the students there. You're doing number crunching. You have to remember that welfare is a personal thing.
It is, yeah.
It's a personal thing for all students, and it shouldn't be coming down. Students simply aren't numbers. They aren't. This isn't here to be knocked down as to say it's impossible. You can't reach every student. If we ran our welfare as we run our campaigns, we wouldn't have to worry about any debt. We wouldn't have to worry about our campaigns to get elected.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Welfare isn't going to be something that I'm going to go into at 10 o'clock in the morning and finish at 5 in the evening or 6 in the evening.
I never said going to.
I'm going to be there. That when it comes down to it, I'm going to be there for students all day, every day. In the evenings, I'm going to go around to res, and I'm going to hit every one of them. Every house I'm going to go to. I'm going to meet every student.
To finish up on the point that it's making is that two of your policies in the accommodation section are imminently being brought in. And
you're saying they are. I could say they're not. They haven't been brought in. They've been trying to be brought in. Eminently is the word you're using a lot here.
Yeah.
And it's not imminent. Imminent is now. Imminent is tomorrow. It's not happening yet. If it happens, then I'm going to have to work on this to improve these schemes. But it hasn't happened yet, Michal. And this is the thing. You are living on other people. You're trying to knock these ideas down by saying they're imminently going to happen. The students of UCD don't have this service. They don't have it. They won't have it tomorrow. They won't have it next week. And they won't have it the week after that. That's not imminently. Imminently is if they have it now. I'm going to make sure when I come in, these students will have these services. They will have them from day one. So I help them from day one. It'll be imminently going to happen because from the 1st of September, straight when they come back, it's going to be imminent, it's going to be there. At the moment, it's not imminently going to come in. There's only a few weeks left here, Michal. A few weeks that Rich President has as a great welfare officer, in my opinion, to do these things. And how can you say if there's a speed bump, If the
All I'm saying is that in your current accommodation section, two of the policies.
You've repeated this several times.
Okay, yeah,
10
yeah,
seconds
10
lead on
seconds,
and 10
yeah.
seconds end.
And just if you want to submit your answer.
No, you asked the question first. Please.
Oh well, all I'm just going to say, like, how do you feel about 2 year policies that are already being brought in the resident section next few weeks?
If they're brought in, good and well, I'm going to push them to make them better and bigger. If they're not, these ideas are going to happen, and I'm going to make sure of that.